Hi, welcome to the part 3 of this video series. In this video series, we are covering AZ304 important exam questions. Now, these are very much near to the real exam questions. In the exam, you might get same or similar questions. It is very important to focus on the concepts because even if the questions are not exactly the same, if the options are swapped or if there are some additional options, you would still be able to pass the exam. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. If you have any constructive comments or a word or two of appreciation, please drop in your comments. Let's jump to the questions. For questions 1 to 15, please refer parts 1 and 2 of this video series. So this is a question. Please pause the video to read the question carefully. The key here is the first step is to identify the keywords. For me, the keyword is removal of the ASP.NET version. So here look at this example. Now, suppose you have an app and that app is using a database. Okay, this is your app. Now, there is an external app which wants to access the data. There are two mechanisms. Either this external app can hit your database directly, fire SQL queries, and extract the data. But that might put some load and who is firing what sort of sequels, etc. Very difficult to monitor it unless you have audits enabled on your database. It is difficult to monitor it. So what you do is, in order to make it safe for your apps, you are telling this external app, hey, why don't you access it through APIs? I will expose some APIs here. Okay, and you hit the APIs and take the data, and I will use Azure API management. What that will do is it will manage the APIs across all environments. That is important thing. So you can publish, secure, transform, maintain, and monitor the APIs. This is very important. People are hitting your application. You see this? This external application is hitting your application. So you put API management. So you can monitor all API calls that has been coming to your applications. So now we have established what is the purpose of API management. Now what happens is there are so many APIs, okay, and these are codes, and your Azure API management is used to publish it. Like we saw in this documentation, we can use it to publish. And now you realize that you need to remove the version, ASP.NET version, from the response of the published APIs. So you have to remove that version. Okay. So now you don't want to go in and modify so much of code and etc. What is the easiest way of doing it? Low administrative effort. What is the easiest way? So let's scan the options. The first one says a new product. So when we say a new product, that means I don't know actually. Uh, there is no logic to it. Why will you create a new product now? So this looks absurd and wrong. Let's see the option B. So it says modification to the URL scheme. What is a URL scheme? So when you have a URL, it starts with either HTTP or HTTPS. That is the scheme. Okay, URL is made of multiple components, out of which one of them is scheme. Now, if you modify the scheme, it will not help you here because scheme just tells whether it is a SSL secured or SSL unsecured URL. That's all. So B is wrong. So that leaves us with just one option, and that should be our answer: a new policy. Let us look at what is a API management policy. So if you see here, it allows the publisher, you know, to change the behavior of API through configuration. You don't have to do code changes. Just through configurations, you can uh, do a large scale change. Okay, and that's why this is our answer. So we will lock this answer and move forward. Let's look at this question. Now, the first thing we have to understand is what is a stateless web app. Stateless means it does not save your data. For example, you are on Amazon.com and you have added something to your cart. For example, a pen and a notebook you have added to your cart. Now, what happens if the database of Amazon goes down? This is a stateful application. That means even that database goes down, and if you are routed to a different application or different VM or a different database, you should still be able to see these two items in your cart. These should not be lost. So stateless web app means there is no obligation. If it gets lost, it lost. It doesn't save your data. What was in your cart, it is not saving. There are different applications which is meant for this purpose, but this is what stateless mean. So key here is it should provide redundancy if your Azure region fails. That means if this stateless web app was in a region, say in Singapore, and that fails, so it should provide redundancy. That means either the user should be connected to a region, Azure region in India or China, some nearby location, so that there is no disruption of service. And another keyword here is access to the operating system, so that you can install custom applications. So whenever you think or you read this, no, you need access to operating systems. Uh, you should always think of VM. That is the only thing in Azure which will provide you access to the operating system to install custom applications. Remaining services like Azure Synapse or Azure SQL database, these are PaaS solutions. VM is your I infrastructure as a service solution, IaaS. So whenever you see such things where you need access to OS, it has to be VM. The solution has to be VM. But if you see the solution here, they're talking about isolated app service plan. Now let us understand what is an isolated app service plan. If you look at the service plans for the app service, there is one which is free and shared. This is under preview. Now there is one more which is a basic service plan. There is one more which is a standard service plan, a premium V2 service plan, a premium V3 service plan, and an isolated service plan. So you use isolated service plan for mission critical workloads. Is your workload mission critical? There is nothing which says it is mission critical, but if you see this line, provide redundancy if Azure region fails, only mission critical or usually mission critical systems want or have this need. So I believe this can be a mission critical stuff. So it allows customers to run their apps in a dedicated environment in a Azure data center. Why? Because nothing would stop it. It will run fast, very fast. It will have, it will use DV2 series VMs with fast processors, SSD storage, double memory to core ratio, just to make it very fast. But this is a plan for app service. What is app service used? It is used to create websites. And if you see this, your isolated plans is good for running on premises network. That is not the need. That is not the need of the question. So this will not allow you access to the operating system. This will not give you redundancy. It is giving you fast compute, fast processing. It is not giving you redundancy. Hence, the answer is no in this case. Now let's see this question. You can pause this video to read this question carefully. Basically, looking at these options, it looks like a load balancer question. These are all types of load balancer. Some are global load balancers like traffic manager, application gateway, or front door. These are global load balancers. So here first let us understand what is the requirement. So these are the four requirements. You maintain access to the app in the event of regional outage. So if you're seeing a regional outage scenario to be catered, it has to be a global load balancer. So out of these options, which are global load balancers? So these two are global load balancers. Now which one will fit here? So you see this technique, just understanding or scanning through the key requirements. Just one requirement we scanned and we are able to remove options B and D. So if you see traffic manager, it uses DNS for routing. So you see this DNS based load balancer, and it is a global load balancer. But we are looking for URL routing. So front door looks to be a potential option. So this is what front door does. It does URL redirect. So front door can redirect traffic. And what are the redirect types? Like if the website has moved permanently, or if not found, temporary redirect, etc. This is possible in front door. So this requirement is fulfilled by front door. Let's look at one more. Support cookie based affinity. Now what is cookie based affinity? Is like, suppose if you are accessing amazon.com, okay, and there is a cookie. So cookie based affinity means when you are accessing amazon.com at 2 p.m. and it went to say uh, a VM. Ideally Azure has VMs, but AWS has EC2. So in terms of EC2, since it is Amazon, they use EC2, which is equivalent to a VM. So what will happen is they will pin the load balancer based on your whatever your request. It will get pinned. It got pinned at 2 p.m. That whenever you make a request, since you are a premium customer, it should go to the largest VM. This is pinned. So at 4 p.m. if you access it, or next day at 8 p.m. you access it, or after a week at 9 p.m. you access it, you will always be routed to the biggest VM, which will give you top-notch performance based on your behavioral pattern. Amazon can do that for you. Now some of you can tell me that I am making this up, so I'll show you in the documentation. So if you see front door routing methods, there are four methods, out of which one is session affinity. Session affinity is the same concept. You configure your session affinity for your front end hosts to ensure requests from the same end user get sent to the same backend. Backend is VM or a database or so on. So enough of explanation. Front door is the right answer. So here the keywords for me are for HTTPS traffic. This is a keyword. That means it is layer 7. So out of these options, we can only choose option which supports layer 7. So the Kubernetes load balancer service, this is layer 4. So this is ruled out. Okay. Option D is wrong because it doesn't support layer 7. And let's look at option A. So option A, see, we are talking about Nginx. We should understand first what is ingress controller. See, Ingress controller is a software and it provides reverse proxy and other routing mechanisms for Kubernetes service. But reverse proxy is important because it protects your web servers from attacks. And that is the use case also suggests here. Okay. So Nginx Ingress controller common sense, or I would say in this case we are talking about Azure. So when Azure itself has a portfolio of products, so Nginx would be the last option. The other thing is Nginx may not have this kind of support, these four options support that it needs. So we will park Nginx for now. Let's look at application gateway ingress controller. It is a layer 4 load balancer. So here it is a layer 7 like I explained, and layer 7 means it supports HTTP routing, HTTPS routing. Plus let's look at these options: support URL routing, cookie based affinity. So if I scroll here, I can see everything: URL routing, cookie based affinity, TLS termination, and WAF support, integrated web application firewall. So hey, it looks like we got our answer here. But let's look at option C because that's the only one which is left. So option C does not provide HTTPS routing. It does routing based on DNS. It is an extra piece of application, but it does not necessarily support all of these options. We got a perfect fit with option B. We will lock our answer and move forward to the next question. Now let's look at this question. You may pause this video to read it carefully. So the first step is understand the story and mark the keyword. So as per my opinion, asynchronous communication is one keyword which changes the game. And what's happening is the information communication has to happen via REST messages, that are REST API messages. So consider this in a typical, if you have worked in a microservices environment. So there are, assume, three layers at least. So front end, middleware, and back end. So what happens is front end, suppose you have Amazon.com, and from the front end you booked certain orders. It comes to the middleware, okay. But when middleware was looking for the backend, it went down. The database is down, and immediately a, 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 a regional failover happened, and a new database came in. So what middleware does is it saves that data with them, and whenever the database, either this database is up or the regional database, it will send it does it in the form of queue. It saves the data in queue. That So just remember this. In most of the microservices project we are implementing, this is how it works. The queue is important for asynchronous communication. Synchronous means the moment data comes from front end to middleware, it will immediately go to the backend. If backend is down, it will fail. So your front end guy, you as a user of Amazon.com, never come to know about it. Hence, we maintain asynchronous communication so that even if the backend fails or a flip is happening, the front end Amazon.com user, you will not experience any outage. Hence, queue storage is a right option here, because for asynchronous communication, you have to maintain a queue. You have to keep the data in the queue. You cannot keep the data in blob storage directly, because see, we are talking about transactions. Blob storage is good for data like images and videos. Data lake will store very big files, but here we are talking about asynchronous communication, transaction information through REST messages, etc. So these are messages. So for messages, only queue storage fits the best. See, service fabric, it just makes it easy to package, deploy, and manage your microservices. But here the question is not talking about managing it. It is talking about where do you keep these messages in a queue. So we will lock this answer. So this brings us to the end of this part. Please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. It will keep me motivated to put more contents. If you have any constructive comments or any appreciation, a word or two will help. Put in your comments. See you in the next part of this video series. You can clear this exam only if you understand the concepts very well. Try to put this technique into play to find the right answer out of the multiple options.